Alright, what's going on, everyone? How's it going? Frank Roland, Strength Equals. Alright, so today I just wanted to show everybody some things that I've been working with is working with isometrics. You know, while everybody's trying to think of, I don't know, especially at my age, 47. I'm not old, but at this age, a lot of times people think, alright, what can I do to make things easier or reduce weight? I'm always trying to find ways to continue to progress, and I think that that's important. I just love thinking about this stuff. Sometimes 3 o'clock in the morning, waking up, thinking about, all right, what can I do to help out this part of the movement? I don't know, I'm always thinking all kinds of things. So isometrics, if you don't know what that is, that's movement. Well, I guess it's a lack of movement, straining your muscles against a lack of movement. So you could be pushing against, let's just say, trying to pick up a car, okay? Trying to push a car that's in park, you're not moving it, okay? That's one way of isometrics. Other ways is more like, perhaps you're more accustomed to this way, is like static holds. You got, let's say, a pull-up at the top of the pull-up, try to hold that, okay? That's actually called yielding isometrics, and then the other one was overcoming. I think that they're great. Mike Menzer has talked about them. As far as statics, it's really the second strongest part of your muscular strength. So it's very important. Taking a muscle to failure and keeping it tense is really all that is required for muscular strength, progress, and growth, really. As long as you're progressing in that. Where it becomes a little weird, where as far as hard to do that, is when you're doing, you know, trying to pick, let's say you're straining again, trying to pick up a car. How do you register if you're making progress with that? It's almost impossible, okay, without special devices and all that stuff. So that's where dynamic work, as far as lifting up barbells, machines, they give you some kind of reference. Like, all right, I did 30 pounds of tension against 30 pounds of weight. I was able to lift that. Now let's move up the weight. If you have any questions regarding this, again, please feel free to leave some questions there. But I think I'm making sense. Now, I'm not looking to just solely do isometrics. But what I want to do with this is, I guess, spend some time in the areas of when I'm picking up a stone, in other areas where I have weak links. Okay, spend time in that area and fatiguing the fibers in that area. Well, I guess the movement, fatiguing that movement, also fatiguing the central nervous system, teaching it to fire and stay strong in that area. Think of like a towel. I'm just wringing the water out of it. So I've been implementing these in two ways. On my initial training day, workout day, when I'm actually messing with the stone, I've done it before where I show you guys I do like a partial. But what I'm doing lately is when I'm done, I go to failure with the stone, and I'm doing it with other lifts, and I'll explain. But when I go to failure with the stone and I can't lift it anymore, okay, I've been taking the stone and actually just lifting it to where I can and just keep pushing against that. Even if it's just on the ground, and just keep pushing, or I guess in this case, pulling against that as much as I can. Okay, it's not moving, okay, but I am really trying to push. Maybe 6-10 seconds, really wringing out that towel, let's say, of everything in that muscle. It's really teaching those nerves to just fire against that, and that's true failure, I believe. So I also been doing it on days that I'm not training with the rock or doing anything with weights per se, and I do it in this fashion. I'm going to show you. It looks funny, it looks like you're not doing anything, but you can spend some time, okay, in those areas without much damage, I guess, if you will, to the muscles, because there isn't any weight, but there's a lot of tension, okay? All right, so this is something I set up. I set it up so that it locks. I can only lift so far, as you see. I have it set up like this because this is the same width that I have when I'm lifting the stone. So this mimics lifting that stone pretty well. So, all right, so I'm going to get myself mentally ready. I'm going to show you. My goal is to strain 15-20 seconds. In that strain, yes, there's variabilities of how high I'm going. If there was some peak forces, it's going up and down. Okay, but I'm kind of get comfortable in that area. said, it's funny looking maybe, something we're not used to as far as there's no movement, but movement is not necessary for getting stronger. I had to really drill that into myself, and I think you should drill that into yourself also. Muscle is made to move, but it's also made to hold, made to strain. Okay, think of sometimes muscles that we look at as how big they get, like people's traps, back, okay, especially lats during deadlifts. They're not moving. They're under intense strain, okay, contraction. The tension is there, max tension at times, much more than when you're doing pull-ups, okay, so think of your lats. So movement is not necessary, okay? What's necessary is high tension in progression and failure, I guess. So tension, failure, and progression within that tension. This, again, is a hard way to implement, well, hard way to gauge, am I making progress next time I pull on this? Technically, this is all I would need to do if I wanted to really those areas to grow. But again, how do I track progress? It's tough. You can buy things that show you if you're getting stronger, okay? But I think it's just easier to do dynamic movements and let that be where you see if you're getting stronger. But anyways, this is one of the movements I do. I'm gonna do another set. The good news with this, or the good thing with this, is that recovery is pretty quick as far as not only in the gym, but even outside, because there's no muscle tearing. And I'm doing some reading and research on that. Muscle tearing is not necessary. Okay, when I say muscle tearing, obviously I mean the micro tears that we think when we're doing lifting. People had once thought that you got to tear the muscles up a little bit. Doing heavy negatives actually does do more of the muscle tearing than the other two, concentric or static, holding the weight. And it was thought that that was necessary to grow. Some of the new research is showing that that's not. Actually, it may just hinder recovery. Okay, so this is definitely not causing that. If it does, it's very, very little compared to any movement. So I'm encouraging you guys to get into it, explore it, look into it. Okay, so I'm going to stop talking and do another lift. Oh, I want to also emphasize, if you do these, try to breathe while you're doing it. Okay. Nice. All right. That's one of the movements. What I like about it, you can adjust to where you need it. Felt that in the lats and everything. So when you do these routines, it's up to you to decide if you're truly giving it all. I mean, not decide, but to be honest with yourself. Don't cheat it. You're only cheating yourself. I'm going as hard as I can. Like I said, within the movement, I may start off, let's say, at 30%, 40%, and it's just increasing. Think about your reps, right? If you're doing reps, a set of 10 reps. The first rep is nowhere as hard as that last rep, correct, right? It's the last like 2, maybe last 3 reps where you really start turning it on, straining. I'm not saying it's not doing any work, reps 1 through 6, let's just say. But they're more or less a warm-up to getting to those last 2, especially 2 last rep. Very crucial. And that's the ones that turn on the growth mechanism. So the same thing is happening here. So first, let's say 10, 20 seconds, or let's say 5, 10 seconds, it's like the first 3 to 5 reps. And then I'm trying to turn it on hard. Okay, you can't live in that last rep forever, right? So same thing is I'm trying to live in that last rep a little longer than you would in a max lift, okay? Feel that in the fingers. All right. All right. I'm going to illustrate one more. I'm not going to have you guys watch a whole. I am going to do a routine with this. But one more that I do. That really hits here. Okay, that helps me in the beginning. If not, it's even deeper than when you're going to pick up a stone and get to here to go over your head. The next stage, but I gotta elongate the chain. I'm not gonna deal with all that right now on camera to bore you, but you said it, so then now you can get different parts in this. Listen, imagination and little ingenuity goes a long way. I encourage you to do that. There's many things you can do with this. Sky's the limit. You can do curls, okay? Doesn't have to be this exact setup. Use your imagination. Okay, I'm not sure if this is going to be set up right. I'm just kind of giving you an idea. So if you had a bar, of course, okay, do that. Anyways, I don't want to get into experimenting with this on camera right now, but so many different things you can do. So I encourage you to do it. This will help you progress to get stronger with your dynamic lifts. And as I kind of got to in the beginning, just don't stop trying to progress. If you have weaknesses, make them stronger. Don't start thinking, well, I've been lifting for so many years. There's always something you can do to continue progressing. Here's big old Django. What's up, buddy? Speaking about a ball of meat and muscle. How are you? So, anyways, thanks for watching. If you have questions, comments, I kind of led into a little bit of a ramble, but I think you guys can appreciate what I'm saying here. Keep getting stronger. Find ways to keep getting stronger. Okay? Don't give up. Remember, keep getting stronger, not only physically, but mentally. Thank you for watching.